Arrival of the Krivari. The Krivari Armada entered the solar system with the elegance of execution only a conquering empire could perfect. Hundreds of warships, gleaming obsidian spears, glided silently past Neptune's orbit. Each vessel was bristling with plasma arrays, drone pods, and graviton warheads designed to crack continents. To the Krivari High Command, Earth was just another primitive world to be annexed, a minor nuisance in their path to galactic hegemony. They had crushed 3 species in the past year alone. Humanity would be no different. But Earth had been watching. In an underground facility beneath the Ural Mountains, General Alina Kovacs stood before a wall of tactical displays. Red dots representing the Armada crept steadily inward. Her face was stone. Around her, Earth's Unified Defense Council waited for her word. "They're not here to negotiate," she said. "They're here to make an example." The Krivari broadcast came next, flashing across every screen, hijacking Earth's networks. A towering reptilian figure appeared, cloaked in Imperial armor. His voice, translated into every language, oozed condescension. "People of Earth, you stand before the might of the Krivari Dominion. Surrender your planet. Submit your species. Resistance will result in your eradication." Then came the footage. Alien cities leveled, rebel fleets atomized, dissidents executed in brutal holographic display. It was a performance, one they'd used 100 times before. And Earth responded with silence. Kovacs looked to her aides. Status of Operation Echo. Green across the board. Malik, her intelligence chief, replied. Ghost satellites are in place. Trojan payloads are ready. Probes armed and launched. The virus is primed. The general nodded. Good. Let them get closer. She knew Earth couldn't fight them head-on. Humanity's space fleet, though advanced, was a toddler compared to the Krivari juggernaut. But this war wouldn't be won with ships or firepower. It would be won with something far older. Fear. As the Armada crossed Jupiter's orbit, Earth's skies remained quiet. No missile launches. No diplomacy. Just silence. In cities across the globe, civilians huddled in bunkers, eyes wide, waiting for the hammer to fall. But beneath that fear, something else simmered, resolve. Because humanity had one advantage the Krivari didn't understand. One truth etched into their very survival. You don't corner a species that evolved fighting its own world. The Krivari believed they were sending a message with their fleet. What they didn't know was, Earth had already written its reply, and they were about to receive it. War of Shadows. The Krivari Armada coasted into Earth's orbit with disciplined precision. No resistance. No welcome. Just a quiet blue world spinning beneath them, daring them to make the first move. Admiral Threxel of the Dominion's Second Fleet stood at the helm of his flagship, Obedience through fire, puzzled. Where are their defenses? He hissed. Where are the fleets, the missiles? His tactical officer flicked his mandibles. Long-range scans detect minimal activity. No sign of orbital weapons. Only primitive satellites. Threxel narrowed his eyes. It felt wrong. Too quiet. He had crushed over a dozen civilizations. None had ever ignored him. He ordered the broadcast again. All across Earth, screens flickered to life with a Krivari ultimatum. You will surrender. Resistance is suicide. But no reply came. Instead, the Krivari systems began to twitch. It started small. Sensor drift. Data anomalies. Holographic interfaces flickering. Then came the strange audio, an eerie human voice whispering over command channels. We heard your message. Here's ours. Suddenly, all primary view screens aboard the fleet began to play something unexpected. Footage of Earth's wars. World wars. Cities bombed to ashes. Soldiers crawling through mud and fire. Mushroom clouds rising into poisoned skies. A montage of chaos, brutality, and unyielding resolve. But the worst part wasn't the footage. It was the narration. It was human history, spoken plainly, one atrocity after another. Genocides, revolutions, uprisings. Over and over, the Krivari watched as humans refused to die quietly. Then came the voice again. You think your empire makes you invincible. We fought monsters before, and we became one to survive. The bridge of the obedience through fire fell into silence. Frexel's officers shifted nervously. One murmured, "They are savages." "No," Frexel growled. "They are sending a warning." Meanwhile, deep inside Earth's lunar base, Rafik Malik sat hunched over a terminal, surrounded by blinking displays. His virus had taken root. "We've penetrated their command net," he reported into his comm. "Fleet-wide data corruption is cascading. Their AIS are glitching from emotional overload. Some subcommanders are locking down their own systems." General Kovac's voice came through, steady and calm. "Good. Move to Phase 2. Back aboard the Krivari fleet, dozens of drone fighters began to malfunction. Some turned inward, attacking their own carriers. Others simply shut down. Frexel slammed his claws into the console. Purge the systems. Shut down the network. But it was too late. Earth hadn't attacked the ships. Earth had attacked their minds. Across the fleet, Krivari soldiers stared at screens showing humans standing blooded but unbroken, facing overwhelming odds, and refusing to yield. Then, the final message appeared, written in every Krivari dialect. "You sent an Armada. We sent a message. We're not afraid of you. You should be afraid of us." Frexel's breath caught, and for the first time in his career, he felt fire in the void. The Krivari fleet's formation fractured as panic spread through its ranks. What had been a perfect ring of warships above Earth now resembled a scattered swarm. Communication between vessels was disrupted, AI support compromised, and discipline slipping with every haunting replay of Earth's war legacy. But Earth wasn't finished. In the black silence of space beyond Mars, hundreds of disguised asteroids suddenly came alive. From within each one, hidden railgun systems, buried in stone and ice, ignited. Using magnetic acceleration, they hurled tungsten rods toward the Krivari fleet at mind-bending speeds. No propulsion signature, no heat trails, just pure kinetic death. The rods struck like wrathful gods. One Krivari dreadnought exploded mid-sentence while re-establishing fleet comms, its hull split by a tungsten spike the size of a tree traveling at Mach 25. Another cruiser shattered as its shields failed to register the incoming projectile. No energy, no warning. Admiral Frexel stared in disbelief as one screen after another went dark. His claws clenched the edge of the command console. This is impossible," he snarled. His second-in-command whispered, "They are using rocks." "Rocks?" Frexel roared. "We brought plasma cannons and singularity missiles. And they throw rocks." Back on Earth, General Kovacs watched from her bunker's central display room. Her command staff sat in tense silence as a feed from the satellite array showed Krivari ships spinning out of control, entire formations disintegrating. "Direct hits confirmed," Malik reported. 17 vessels destroyed. 8 disabled. The rest are in chaos. "Let them run," Kovacs said. "But keep feeding them the signal." Earth's message continued to play on Krivari monitors, louder now, impossibly synchronized. A final phrase echoed through their fleet. "This wasn't a battle. This was a demonstration. We didn't stop you. We let you live." On board the surviving ships, the Krivari captains faltered. Pride turned to hesitation. Orders were shouted and ignored. Some ships broke formation and fled for deep space. Others hovered, unsure whether to fight or retreat. Then came the worst realization. Their AI command net had been irreversibly compromised. They were no longer just being attacked. They were being studied. Frexel slammed his fist against the holo table. "Order full retreat. Regroup at the outer rim. We must report this species." "Report what?" his lieutenant asked quietly. "That we were broken by primitives." Frexel said nothing. He knew the truth. They hadn't been broken by weapons. They'd been broken by fear. As a remaining fleet limped toward the edge of the solar system, Earth's satellites tracked them but did not pursue. Not a single human ship followed. Because Earth wasn't trying to destroy the Armada. It wanted witnesses. Message delivered. Admiral Frexel's fleet limped back into Krivari space, wounded, humiliated, and silent. Only 37 of the original 200 ships remained operational. The rest were shattered in Earth's orbit or drifting tombs in deep space. What was meant to be a swift conquest had become a stain on the Dominion's legacy. But the real damage hadn't yet begun. The moment the fleet re-entered Dominion territory, every communication channel exploded with static, then shifted to an all-too-familiar signal, Earth's message. It played across civilian networks, military comms, and even temple broadcast towers. No system had been spared. Earth had hacked into the Krivari's own subspace relays, deep infrastructure supposedly immune to external access. Screens flashed scenes of human wars again. The trenches of Verdun, the firebombing of Dresden, guerrilla fighters in jungles, resistance movements under occupation. And then, the voice returned. Calm, cold, terrifying in its certainty. You thought we were weak because we are divided. But we are united in one truth. We don't kneel. We remember. And when we're hurt, we teach. On worlds across the Dominion, Krivari's citizens stared, transfixed and horrified. Soldiers shifted nervously. Civilians whispered of Earth's madness. Some began to question, if they resisted such overwhelming force, what else were they capable of? And in the halls of Dominion power, dissent ignited. Colonial governors demanded answers. Military leaders called for new strategies. And in shadowed corners, revolutionaries, long silenced, found hope in humanity's message. They called Earth a death world. Now, it was a symbol. On Earth, General Kovacs watched it unfold from her command room. Reports came in from orbital relays confirming the message's penetration across Dominion territory. Malik leaned back in his chair, a tired smile tugging at the edge of his lips. We didn't just beat them. We rewired their entire empire. Kovacs didn't smile. Fear is a weapon, but it cuts both ways. Let's hope they stay afraid and don't decide to get creative. He looked at her. You think they'll come back? They might, she said. But next time, they won't come to conquer. They'll come to understand. She turned toward the global broadcast system and authorized the final transmission. Short, deliberate, and clear. To the galaxy watching, we are not conquerors. We don't want your worlds, your wealth, or your obedience. But if you come for us, bring everything you've got. Because if we stand, we will make sure you remember us. Forever. The screen went black. Somewhere, in the dark stretches of space, frightened eyes blinked at the silence. The Krivari had sent an armada. Earth had sent a message, and the galaxy heard it loud and clear.